what it's evoking and how we are establishing our perspective towards this. And that is, no, I am going with aging. I'm with the age because it's an inevitable component of life. And I'm not going to resist it, but I'm going to enter into it and do all these things, these 8 keys, so that as I go through the age process, I can stay vital. And we will see from different ways, from practices, from the shamanistic view, from cutting edge modern research in biology, how doing these 8 pillars has a direct impact on the functions of our organ systems in such a way that as the body chronologically ages, it can remain in a vital state. So we're more interested in what's called now biological age than chronological age. Chronological age is our calendar, right? And we often define our age, our calendar age, and we immediately have an association of what we are supposed to be like by that age. And I want you to scratch that. I want to encourage you to pay attention to your biological age. So you could be 40 by calendar, but your biological age might be 50 or 55 or even 60. I've seen it plenty in my clinical work or working with practitioners, or vice versa. One could be in the calendar age 60 and biologically be in the 40s. And think of yourself as more real. The real thing is your biological age. So this is just some parameters. If we don't do anything to ourselves, just the natural evolution of the body, we peak in our 30s in terms of functioning. It's a little bit different men and women, but roughly. And then by 40s, we already have to start. See, Carlos Castaneda, our teacher, he would say often, we think we are immortal. We act in our life as if we were immortal, as if we had all the time in the world to do this or do that, to take care of ourselves, for example. Oh, I do it afterwards. And that happens throughout our teens, 20s, and 30s. And then by 40, bang, we go, okay, we realize that we have to start to taking care of ourselves to preserve health. And all the anti-aging machinery has the chance to kick into gear. And then by the 50s, we begin to dry out. Our essences begin to really take a beating just by the wear and tear of life. And that's when the real work starts. I turned 50 3 days ago. I'm just crossing the threshold, and I'm telling you, objective number 1 or top of the list starts to become how to more efficiently, more focused, how can we preserve vitality and health. So depends in what age group you fall. Ideally, for the ones of you who are still in your 30s, that is the best way, because you want to start to preserve when you're on the up curve, right? Before the decline begins. You start preserving so you stay in the highest peak. If you start to preserve in your late 40s, you already have some decline that is gone, and you have to catch up. And if you start the work in your 50s, even more so. In any case, no matter what age you are right now is the time to start. The 8 keys, make your checklist, see where you're at. Okay, so I want to stay vital as I age. We are not anti-aging, but we are aging with vitality. So we're looking at longevity and longevity in a vital state. Just like a simple menu, simple recipe. stay joyful, have a really good time, just be happy to be alive. Flexible in our mind and flexible in our body, and healthy. So that's the simple recipe for anti-aging, and then it's all the specifics that we can implement. So as of today, with the current things that science can give us, we have 120 years expectation. In our best case scenario, we will make it to 120, and we can do it being healthy, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose. No matter how far we can get to the end line being vital mentally and physically. I know it can be done because I have the model of our teacher who did precisely that. But science is in the middle of a revolution, and the whole understanding of epigenetics, which is the modification of our gene expression based on lifestyle choices, is booming, and the science's understanding of how we can, touch up our biology and prolong life. We'll talk about telomeres in a moment and how that can prolong life. But so 120 barrier will probably be broken in the next 10 to 20 years. So let's go through the keys. Okay, so physically active is one of the keys. Staying physically active. So let's really make a package. What are the components that I need to kind of check in my internal checklist of aging with vitality? What are my areas of physical activity that I need to pay attention to? So I need some component of cardio activation. So I gave you the model of the trotting. Anything that you want to do that involves activating your heart rate. From the simple walking, which is the quintessential basic cardio activity that the body is naturally made for. So if you do a regular walks, active walking, not just strolling, a walk that will increase your heart rate, or energy passes of any kind that involve more active movement. Stretching and flexibility. So I said mentally flexible and physically flexible, and both things go hand in hand. So again, either through stretching, basic stretches, through yoga practice, through energy passes that we do on the mat and we hold positions and stretch into them. Any of those, you want to really have that. We need to have a component of that in my weekly routine. Think of this in a weekly basis, okay? Am I having my cardio during the week? 2-3 times a week? Am I having my stretches and flexibility during the week? 2-3 times per week. Strengthening and core. So am I doing things that will strengthen the muscles? So anything weight bearing, like we did the stance, you're doing weights, you're holding things, you're carrying things, strengthening the muscles. And then within the strengthening, always want to pay attention to strengthening the core. So the deep muscles of the abdomen and the pelvic area, that's our power center, and we want to definitely have some of that. Energy redeployment. So we are an energy redeployment. We are specifically moving, like with the energy passes, with the purpose of reorganizing our energy and bringing it into our centers of vitality, as most of you are very familiar, and we do an example in a moment. And then intention. Intention has to imbue all of the other ones. It's essentially whatever we are doing of the first four, that we are with our attention aligned with what we're doing, that our intention is matching what we're doing, and then everything gets reinforced. So let's, as for examples, okay, let's we did cardio, we did strengthening, and let's do something for stretching, flexibility, something for core, and something for energy redeployment. Okay. So let's come back to, we're going to go to the mats now, okay? Come to the mat. So I'm selecting one energy pass that will exemplify flexibility and stretching, okay? We're going to basically lift up and lean forward and hold the stretch, work with the flexibility for 2 minutes. Okay, so we'll count. So here we go. Inhale, stretch up, lift up your spine, and count. Now bend your knees, both of them, so that you can comfortably bring your head down wherever that falls. Now you may want to pull your buttocks backwards to roll your pelvis and be able to fall forward easier. And we're going to work with our flexibility. So start in a place that is doable for you. Drop your head, relax your jaw, relax your tongue, relax your eyes. Breathe into your belly. When we're working with flexibility, rule number one, and stretches, rule number one is start at the edge of your capacity. Don't push. Come to the frontier where you begin to feel the stretch, and then just stay there and do 3 to 5 cycles of breathing. Then after that, you can start to challenge a little bit more. So you can extend a little more the legs, and then again stay and breathe. As we are demanding the stretching of the muscle fibers, we are triggering the supply of calcium and oxygen to the muscle, so we can activate and give a little bit of more space. That takes a few moments. That's why we work with the cycles of breath. 1 minute, and challenge yourself a little more. Make a mental note where you are at in your flexibility. And whatever that place is, that's your baseline, and you want to work from there. Have the intention of staying flexible, pliable in life. Three more cycles of breath at your own pace. And rolling the spine.